Hi guys, it's Kirby. Welcome to my channel. We are still doing dupes because it's still the month of April. A long time ago, I thought April Fools, April dupes, how cute. So now for the whole month of April, we do dupes. None of these videos are sponsored. I have purchased all of this makeup with my own money. I know a lot of people have a lot of feelings about dupes. I think for the buyer, it gives more options because sometimes dupes isn't necessarily just about money reasons. Sometimes it's about ingredient reasons, fragrance, brand reasons. And the dupes that we largely do on this channel are basically like big box brands, like very huge brands that you can find in many retailers. We're not trying to go after necessarily like the dupes from the big box companies, from the independent companies and things like that. Again, a lot of people have a lot of feelings about dupes. I understand, but with all that being said, today's dupe that we are facing off is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base against the Revolution Vitamin Base Primer Moisturizing Primer. I actually learned about the Revolution Vitamin Base Primer from somebody I follow on Instagram, Gracie M241. She is a great follow, a wonderful artist. She does amazing eyeshadow looks, and so I will link her Instagram down in the description box below if you want to go check her out. These are the boxes. We are going to talk a little bit about each of them and then compare them. The first one we're going to talk about is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. They also have a Vitamin Enriched Eye Cream, I believe, or like eye base. This comes in 3 sizes. This is the 15 milliliter, which is the smallest size, and it is $25. Then they have a 50 milliliter, which is double this, for $69. Then they have a 100 milliliter one for $110. This is the box, and then this is the actual package itself. Is this plastic? Oh, this is plastic. I thought it was going to be glass. It's plastic. Alright, it says, skincare made for makeup, hydrating primer, instantly nourishes, plumps, and preps skin to improve look of foundation. Full makeup prep in 1 step. Blending performance of primer with cushion of moisturizer. Key ingredients: vitamin B, C, and E, hyaluronic acid, squalene, shea butter, and 100% grapefruit geranium natural fragrance. Oh yeah. That does have a little bit of a fragrance. The directions is apply to clean skin morning and night. Basically, my feeling on moisturizing primers is that they're kind of glorified moisturizers, like face creams, that you should already be implementing in your skincare in general. So, there you go. Moving on to the Revolution Vitamin Base Primer. Let me see if I can open it up. This is the box. This is the packaging. I think this is glass. Yeah, I think this is glass. So this only comes in the 1 size. I bought this off of their website. This is 25 milliliters for $12. So if you are looking between these two, which this is 15 milliliters and this is 25, so you're getting 10 more milliliters, it's about a $13 savings. If you're looking at the 2 larger ones, if you're comparing just the 25 to the 50, it's a $57 savings. But in theory, if you're looking to do 50 and 50, so you'd have to buy 2 of these for $24, that's still a $45 savings. And then for the 100 milliliter against this, the 25, that's a $98 savings. But if you wanted 100 and 100, so you'd have to buy 4 of these, that's still, buying 4 of these for $48 is still a $62 savings. So if you are looking for money reasons for a dupe, this, no matter what size you're doing, even if you have to buy multiple of these, is a savings of anywhere from $13 to $98. This one claims the ultimate base to prep skin for makeup with comfort of moisturizer and benefits of primer. This is vegan and cruelty free. The key ingredients are vitamin B, C, and E, hyaluronic acid, and shea butter. So this one does not have the squalene as a key ingredient. So as you can see, their packaging is very similar. They have a very similar key ingredient list with the vitamin B, C, and E, hyaluronic acid, and shea butter. The only difference is that this one, the Super Base from Revolution, doesn't have the squalene. I wonder if the Revolution is fragranced. I didn't see a fragrance on the box, but that doesn't mean... Yeah, this one doesn't have any fragrance. So if you are sensitive to fragrance, maybe the Super Base is something that you want to look into. Or you can buy these, as I said, for the Revolution Super Base, you can buy this directly from their website at Revolution or Amazon. I bought it directly from their website. I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. For the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, you can buy it directly from Bobbi Brown, but you can also buy it at Sephora. I also think that there are certain department stores that carry makeup that you probably could buy it from, but those are the two places that I would probably purchase it from, is Sephora and or Bobbi Brown's site directly. I think I got mine from Sephora. I don't know if Ulta carries it. Also, I'm unsure if Bobbi Brown is cruelty-free or vegan, so let me look that up real quick. Okay, per a quick Google search, it does say that the Bobbi Brown is cruelty-free and vegan. Same with the Revolution Super Base. It is also cruelty-free and vegan. Alright, so I have already washed and prepped my skin with all of my serums and things. I have not put any other types of moisturizers or SPFs or anything on, because usually my last step for makeup prep would be using my Black Girl sunscreen, moisturizing SPF lotion. That doesn't always jive well with other moisturizers because it is so thick and moisturizing, so I've just done all of my like skin serums and things like that. If you are unfamiliar with how we do dupes on this channel, I like to try to use them side by side. So today I'm going to be using Bobbi Brown on this side of my face, and then we're going to be using the Revolution base on this side of my face. I'm going to get the hair out of my face. Up close in the jars, this is what they look like. They have very similar textures and very similar kind of like consistencies, thick consistencies. Again, the Revolution doesn't have a scent, and the Bobbi Brown has that very light grapefruit geranium scent that I had mentioned in the key ingredients list. So here is the Bobbi Brown. Again, she's thick. And then the Revolution, they're both super duper thick moisturizers, which I really like. Their consistencies are almost the exact same. So again, Bobbi Brown is going to be on this side, Revolution is going to be on this side. I probably took a little too much for only half of my face. Oh yeah, the textures of these are like the exact same. And I personally like a thick moisturizer. So this is right up my alley. Okay, if you are sensitive to fragrance, I'm going to let you know that you can smell that grapefruit geranium from the Bobbi Brown very, very well. It is light. It isn't heavy or artificial smelling. However, it is very noticeable. So if you are someone who is, again, sensitive to any type of fragrance, natural or artificial, I would say beware that the Bobbi Brown does have a fragrance to it, whereas the Revolution Vitamin Base doesn't. On the skin, they feel the exact same. The textures are the same, the feeling is the same. I'm not noticing a difference in how it is looking on my skin. And again, as I stated with the Bobbi Brown, moisturizing primers are basically glorified face moisturizers or face creams, because when I, a long time ago, used to do makeup on clients and other people other than my own face, the number one thing is that people don't moisturize their skin enough. It's just what they just don't. So oftentimes the primer that I would be using on people's faces was just a face lotion, or it was a glowy face cream, and it would just kind of like plump up the skin and give that kind of nice full moisturized look, because people are either using the wrong face lotion, too light of a face lotion. They think that their face is oily, so they're not using moisturizer, which their face is oily because they're not using moisturizer. So yeah, if you were to use this even just as like a daily face cream, as the Bobbi Brown says, use it apply it to clean skin morning and night. What does this one say? I don't even think the Revolution base one has directions, because again, it is just a pumped up moisturizer. You can definitely feel that shea butter in there. But yeah, it's looking really nice on the skin, and my face feels very soft after putting that on. They both feel very soft. I don't know if it's my lighting or my eyes are tricking me. I do think that there is a slight glow to the Bobbi Brown side, but it isn't like noticeable. Yeah, they feel the exact same, they applied the exact same, and the textures of these creams are like the exact same. So we are off to a good start. I'm actually going to let this sit on my skin for just a couple minutes because I want it to kind of soak in. I found that if I apply moisturizer and or a primer and then immediately go into my base makeup, it sometimes doesn't always yield the best results. However, this primer, lotion primer, cream, whatever you want to call it, on both sides, I already feel it's like sunk into my skin very nicely. So I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes to kind of like do its magic, and then we will come back and kind of like do the base together, and then I'll finish my face off camera for some final thoughts. But we are already off to a great start. Alright guys, it has been about 7-ish minutes. I was writing some notes for another Dupes video, and I feel like, again, it's really just sunk into my skin. There's no issues. It isn't even like having any issues after sitting for a moment. So I have mixed up my base makeup, which is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer from ColourPop with 2 pumps of the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint and just a little dollop of the LA Colors Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment because the Pretty Fresh is a little yellow for my skin. So to neutralize that, we put a little bit of blue in and it's all good. So to give again them a good fighting chance to know how they do and don't work, we are going to use 2 different foundation brushes for this. These are both e.l.f. I think powder brushes, but I really like to apply base makeup with them. And we're just going to use different brushes, again, just to make sure that we are not cross-contaminating anything in our makeup test. So we're going to start with the Revolution side just because that's the side I always start with. It's just how it works. So I'm going to take my finger and kind of apply a little bit all over the face. and then stipple. And I know you'd probably think, oh, a tinted moisturizer going on a moisturizing base, there shouldn't be any issues, but you'd be surprised. This exact foundation or base complexion mixture that I have does not jive with many, many primers that I have. So this is what I've been using for a long time because I'm trying to use up my base products before I get more. So you'd be surprised at how many different primers it does not mix well with. Moving on to the Bobbi Brown side. New clean brush. Okay, some initial thoughts. I think it looks the exact same, both sides applied on top of that moisturizer or the vitamin enriched face base. We're just going to call it the vitamin base or the vitamin face base. It looks very similar. It looks very, very nice. I will say it is an unbelievably hydrating base or primer, so you should let it sink into your skin before you just plop makeup right on top of it, maybe even longer than like 5 minutes, because it needs just a chance to settle into the skin and let the skin soak it up, because if you don't, that moisturizer, that vitamin base is going to mix in with your complexion product and you're gonna have a heck of a time trying to figure out what is happening because everything's moving around. With that being said, I do think that my ColourPop tinted moisturizer Maybelline mixture worked really, really well on top of it. I think that there are a few parts that I might need to go in with like a more precision application brush. I just picked these two. I've been trying to get into smaller complexion brushes, but I just picked these two because they were clean and they're the exact same. But just like around my nose and in between my eyebrows and like on my chin. But again, they're both laying the exact same and it's looking really, really nice. Again, my skin is looking healthy and plump and moisturized. I'm gonna go and finish my makeup off camera and then we will be back for some final thoughts on this dupe. Alright guys, face finished. This is what we're working with. Is it my favorite primer? No. I did have a couple hiccups with it catching on my cheeks a little bit on both sides and also underneath my eyes. Isn't the most amazing or how I really like to see it. Overall, do I think it held up really well? Yes. I think after I have all of my products on, for camera, I think it's really, really nice. But in real life, I am noticing how things aren't sitting the way they normally sit when I just use my Black Girl sunscreen as a primer. Or what I normally use just in general as a primer. Again, it's not terrible, and I do like it as a regular moisturizer, so that's probably what this is going to do, is be incorporated into my skincare as just a regular moisturizer and not a primer. My eyebrows are giving like 2016 today and I ain't mad about it. So yeah, again, it's not like the best. However, if you have really dry skin, I do understand why people swear by this. The Bobbi Brown, I know, especially for like mature skin, really dry skin, people love this Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched face base. And if you are in a struggle financially and or you can't handle the fragrance of this, because the fragrance did not dissipate quickly. It stayed around for quite some time. You might want to check out the Revolution Super Base Vitamin Base Primer, because they are basically the exact same things. It's giving my skin that plump, glowy look, moisturized. I really I liked the experience of using it, but I did not necessarily like how my makeup sat on top of it. And honestly, that could also just be the complexion products that I decided to use. That hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer from ColourPop, the Pretty Fresh. Maybe that just doesn't jive with this as a primer. Maybe some other like heavier coverage or drier products would work well with this. But overall, not disappointed. Again, anywhere from a $13 savings to a $98 savings depending on what size you get. The Bobbi Brown comes in multiple sizes, has the extra key ingredient of squalene, and has the fragrance of grapefruit and geranium. The Revolution Super Base only comes in the one size, has no fragrance, doesn't have the squalene. They both have the vitamin B, C, and E, hyaluronic acid, and shea butter. These are a great dupe for each other if you are looking for alternatives to the Bobbi Brown. Check out the Revolution Super Base. Again, all I could find was it on their website and Amazon, so take that into consideration. Also, they're both cruelty-free and vegan. I will link these down in the description box below if you are interested. You can check them out on your own time. Did you enjoy this video? Was it helpful? Have you used the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base? Have you used the Revolution Super Base? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. If you have another recommendation for the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, let me know also down in the comment section. I love a good recommendation. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more dupes. Thanks so much for watching, guys.